there's a question I can't resist asking Mr. Steiner. Achim, what is your preferred tax? And what's your favorite tax break?
I'm trying to keep my job. Let me maybe answer in this way. I think we will, and I'm sometimes surprised that it hasn't happened yet and faster, going to see a fundamental shift in our fiscal systems. And it goes back to what you just referred to. We cannot continue to develop in an economic sense in societies that have unemployment to the degree that exists today, and even, as you say, working poor. And I think there is something very fascinating happening. Again, this speaks to the narrative of opportunity with green economy. We live in a time where we don't have enough work for people, and we're increasingly going to be confronted by a resource-constrained future, whether in terms of raw materials and supply chains or limits to the pollution space. I think it is probably a matter of maybe another decade before governments will fundamentally revisit their tax systems and actually introduce an ecological tax reform. Although you may not even want to use the term ecological tax reform, what you're really talking about is we need to begin to de-tax the factor labor in order to not impose this disadvantage in an economy that finds it rational to mechanize while we have millions of people who are unemployed or underemployed. At the same time, an economy in which we actually need to start putting an economic signal on industries that are heavily polluting, that are resource inefficient. Minister, you spoke to the recycling, the secondary markets that you are pursuing. I think this is an excellent illustration. We, in the International Resource Panel that UNEP hosts, have this fascinating spectrum of a world in which 60 to 70% of iron and steel today are in fact being recycled. But less than 1% of rare earth are being recycled. And I think this points to the fascinating opportunity that we can achieve, again, the SDG 8 objective by having a triple win. We will see a shift away from taxing labor, a shift towards resource efficiency and taxing pollution, and at the same time sending a signal into the economy that rewards those enterprises and investors that start moving towards a low carbon economy or a less polluting economy, creating secondary markets by making them economically attractive. So I don't have a favorite tax or a least favorite tax, although I would like to certainly agree with Christine Lagarde. Fossil fuel subsidies at a level of cost to our economies today is probably the most obvious low-hanging fruit. But that is dealing with the bad, a distortion. We need to start moving, and this is the power of this inclusive green economy perspective on the broader economic policy choices, the opportunities that actually come with trying to correct things that can deliver multiple benefits. So my vote would be towards this sort of rethinking of our taxation system, which, by the way, is eminently sellable to our societies, because people will not be worse off in terms of being taxed or not, because you actually are not going to increase the tax burden on us as individuals, but you shift the signal in the economy.
Thank you very much.